Hello there, and welcome to Jedi and the Mailman. This is a show where two old friends aim to deliver the best Star Wars talk in the galaxy. I'm Mike the Mailman, and that's Jimmy the Jedi. Jimmy, it's been a little while.
It has been.
I'm not sure I remember still how to do this stuff.
Yeah, you've done it. You've done it more than I have recently.
Have I?
Yeah, I think so. Because you and
I don't
Jack got
know.
on here.
No.
I think. Wait, no, me and
I don't know.
yeah, I can't remember.
I think the last time I was on was with you and Charlie doing the main show, which was, I don't know, 3 weeks ago or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. What's time?
Who knows, man?
I
Who
don't know.
knows?
I'm lost. But yeah, it's been a little while.
Who do you got in your soda there, Mike?
I have Darth Vader.
Nice.
It's a Vader Coke Zero.
There you go.
Yeah. I think I only have like 2 more of them. I had a whole case of them. So I've been drinking a lot of Coca-Cola trying to get through them all.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that. A little Coca-Cola.
Yeah, it's good for you. American. All right. Did you see you just popped into the comments?
Yes, I did.
Tahu.
Tahu is here. Yeah, man.
Good to see you, buddy.
Been missing you guys. Hasn't felt right. So
It's not.
But
I know, speaking for myself, not really been in the right headspace for, this sort of stuff. And it's sad because this is a fun thing that we do. And I like to get on here and, hash it out and have some fun. But, sometimes life just dumps on you. I don't know if you've seen the news. Like the world is on fire. It's not good. But, when that sort of thing is happening, and then you layer on top of that challenges in your own personal life, things get kind of bleak and dark,
Yeah, they can. So
and even the things that are fun for you, they lose their, I don't know, they lose their appeal. And not that I don't want to do this. It's just hard to motivate yourself to, come and do this sort of stuff. But I mean, I'm glad we're here tonight.
absolutely.
It's nice to get in here and talk and be with people that, enjoy the same sort of things that we do and try to have some fun. So
Absolutely. We've got some good things to talk about tonight, I think. So and then if we have extra time, who knows? We got some new news about what might be coming down from the new Starfighter movie and stuff like that. But yeah, so we got lots of good things. I'm going to try to bring this stuff up here real quick. Whoops, I need to learn how to spell Bryce. There she is. All right, I don't want the YouTube. I just want the... Whoa, not that. Here we go. StarWarsNews.net.
Here we go.
So let me bring this up. So our first bit of news today. What did Tahu say? He goes, "That's why you have your bros here for you with you." Yeah, good stuff. So, so Bryce Dallas Howard the other day. I'm not sure where she was. It looked like she was at a convention.
I think it was
The LA
Comic-Con. Yeah.
All right. So she said a couple of things. If I can learn how to use a computer here, share my screen. Bryce Dallas Howard. Bam. All right. So
there we go.
I'm going to take off our nonsense here for a second. Where's my media assets? All right. So clear that up. So talking about working on, apparently she just finished up her 2 episodes. We got a few weeks ago, not even a few weeks ago, a week ago.
It's been a little while. Yeah.
On this. All the directors were announced. For the most part, we knew that we thought she was getting 2, and she is. She's quoted as saying, "It's so good. It is so good. It is beautiful. It is thrilling. It is adventurous. It is romantic. It is all the things that you want from an epic story." And I adore Dave Filoni. I would do anything for and with Dave Filoni. He's an extraordinary leader and visionary. He's super funny, and the guy knows what he's talking about. So I just got to finish up, and I have been working on the cut, and it's just one of the greatest privileges and joys of my life getting to play in that sandbox. So, all right.
First off, it's really nice to hear that she's working on the edit. Like
Yeah, it's
that
coming, right?
knows, yeah, who knows when they're going to push this out. I think Ahsoka season 1 came out in the fall.
Came out in like August, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, just because one thing came out at one time doesn't mean another thing's going to come out at that same time. But
No.
the fact that they're working on the edit, that does tell you that maybe this could be ready by spring. Maybe.
Do you think that they will, um, because we're getting the Mando movie in May.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think um, they're going to give us all this at once, or do you think that this comes at because we're supposed to be getting Maul Shadow Lords probably January, February time period.
Mm-hmm.
All right, May we're getting this. So I'm assuming that your idea of possibly August or early sometime in the fall maybe.
Yeah, probably makes the most
So
sense. But
it is weird
of
that we haven't
course,
gotten a
we
date.
have next year in the fall, though, or no, 2027 is when Starfighter comes out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
yeah, I mean, just looking at what's on the slate, that would make the most sense then for them to release this in the fall. So you just made me sad, Jimmy.
yeah, sorry. But you're getting Shadow Lord. You're
Yeah.
gonna get first time in theaters in what, like 7 years, I think, when we go to
Hmm.
see Mando and Grogu, and then you have your summertime, and then hopefully we get hit with another Tales there on May the 4th, and then
Yeah.
we get summertime fun, whatever that'll be, maybe some books or something, and then we get Ahsoka in the fall.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So now, what is a little bit sad is that there's nothing that we know of Disney Plus wise coming out after this Ahsoka season 2.
Right.
Like there should be announcements and things, like they should be working on stuff and filming things and
Hmm.
getting it ready. And because they started filming this, what does it say, April 28th, 2025, they started working on this. And so it's, a few months later. I mean, the turnaround times, with all the CGI and stuff takes a while. So
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean,
Do you
it's a
think there'll
little,
be another Lego show next year? Because we've
I
got
don't
those
know.
in the past 2 years.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I would be awesome if we did. Um, it's funny because we complain about them telling us stuff and us
Hmm.
not getting it, but then we're complaining about why won't they tell us stuff? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which would you rather have? And I'm curious, Tahu, if you're out there, anybody else is listening, today or whenever. We always get so many streams on this after the fact.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but would you rather have information just like all of a sudden it pops up like, hey, we're getting this? Or would you rather how we used to get these, we get this slate of this is what's happening and
Hmm.
Guardians are, was it Marshals of the New Republic or
Yeah.
something, I can't remember. Lando Calrissian Chronicles, I don't know if that was the name of it. And all this stuff. And it makes things seem so hectic. And I
Yeah.
have to believe that you're running a billions of $1 trillion companies, that you're a little more organized and just winging it.
Hmm.
But what would you rather have? Would you rather know what was coming out and then that possibility of things getting canceled, or would you just rather them spring it on us like all of a sudden we'll find out? Because it's kind of random this week. We got, was that this week? No, we got Mando and Grogu trailer last week, right?
Hmm.
We got Visions trailer like 2 or 3 days ago, just kind of random. And it's not doing well, by the way. It only has like
Yeah.
100,000 views if you
Mm.
combine the two, because there's a Japanese version and a dubbed English version.
Yeah.
So not great.
I haven't clicked on it yet, so
It looks amazing.
yeah, I'll have to check that out. I'm still.
No, Todd, we'll be at all this news. All right,
We
well,
are,
we'll be telling
yes.
the news. So,
Well, I would. I would prefer they let us know when it's going to happen.
and then it
Like,
actually happens.
yeah, don't tell me what's coming up 5 years down the line. I mean, I suppose it's nice to get those rumors here and again that they may be working on this, they may be working on that, but I don't want the Disney releases that like they had back when I first started joining you guys into this stuff. They had that whole slate of things that just started falling off all over the place. There was lots of ideas that just kind of went by the wayside. And I'd much rather just say, okay, this is what we're working on. It'll be out in 2 years. This is what we're working on. It'll be out in 2 years. And then throw in some surprises. I would think like Maul Shadow Lord. I don't think anybody knew that was coming until they announced it. You know what
Yeah,
I
there have
mean?
been rumors and stuff like that, but yeah,
Mhm.
until Celebration and they dropped that, we're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And
I
even
think,
like the Lego show last year, the first one came out,
yeah,
Rebuild the Galaxy. There wasn't much build up to that either. It sort of just like fell into your lap. So I like those little surprises and stuff. What I hate is when they announce things that we're thinking about this and it never comes to fruition. I don't want Lucasfilm announcing things unless they're actually going to do it.
yeah. No, I get it. We've got Mission Nonstop over on Instagram says Chat GPT makes editing way easier. It's our droids. And then they fix their droids and because now I know how Mando feels. So um,
I have never used ChatGPT.
I've messed with it a little bit. I actually used some AI today for a video
Yeah.
trying to get a photo of Amy Adams to look like a Jedi. If the rumors are true, it looks more like Emma Watson though, like
Yeah.
Hermione. Um, and so I'm kind of like frustrated with it, and I don't want to spend time
Mhm.
learning AI. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, I wish you could. I wish you could just be like, here's a picture of a Jedi. Here's Amy Adams. Merge it.
Make it.
Just make that what I've given you. Just make it. Make it happen.
Well, you could pay an artist to do that.
Yes, but I can't have it in 5 seconds like I want it. So, um, but yeah, there's a lot going on with her quotes. But
Yeah.
so, anyways, back to her quotes though. I mean,
Mhm.
she's always so positive and stuff. It's hard to,
Yes.
but everything she does, I didn't know what Chat GPT even was. Oh, you
Good for
don't have
you, buddy.
AI down under.
I don't want to know what it is.
Yeah, it's ruining things. It's causing presidents to post things that aren't real.
With
That's
his six fingers.
that was him. Yeah. So that's good stuff. But again, she says it's so good. Hope
Mhm.
so. It is so good. It's beautiful. It is thrilling. It's adventurous. It's romantic. What do we think it's romantic means? I know that in our Discord we had, I think the Brandalorian was talking about some stuff. But when you romantic in Star Wars, and it got me to thinking it might. We're kind of leaning towards a certain topic this weekend, but we kind of steered
Mhm.
away from it because we don't know if we have enough time to get ready for it. But when you hear her say romantic, do you think like relationship wise? Like what are you thinking when you hear those
It's,
words?
I mean, that's probably the first thing that jumps to my mind. Yeah. But there's a different way to look at it too. But that's the first thing that jumps to my mind. But then you're thinking like in this cast, this group of people, where like who's getting shipped here? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see Ahsoka, shacking up with anybody. She seems pretty straight laced, level headed, serious. I don't think she's you know, and then beyond that, like is Ezra like maybe there's some new characters we don't know about.
Yeah,
Maybe
they're stuck on a planet that doesn't really offer much.
right. I'd like to see Ezra find a significant other. I like the idea of Jedi's. I mean, his master had himself a lady.
Yeah, so um in our group chat, and spoiler warning, just I don't know if any of this is true or not. This is from Clan Brandalorian because through him, he's
Mhm.
another source. It's about Ezra who finds a love interest.
Well, there we go. And I didn't even read that.
So I won't go into
So
anything else he says because it's not really prudent to that part of this conversation. But um, yeah, Ezra, like I
hmm,
know I was listening to a guy who loves Star Wars, not like Star Wars, and a guy who loves Star Wars.
loves
Sorry for the disrespect there.
the
Um,
guy who likes Star Wars just sucks.
he does suck, but the guy who loves Star Wars is pretty awesome. Oh yeah, maybe Tahu.
You know?
Maybe she means romantic because she loves Star Wars like us. Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell? What was I just talking about?
You were talking about the guy who loves Star Wars, not the
Oh
guy who
yeah.
likes, but
So
the guy who loves
they're talking about like all these things that are going to happen because there's all these new rumors,
it.
and we can
Mhm.
kind of get into it if you want. Because I mean, they're all rumors. Um, we know certain things have to happen. Well, we think certain things are going to happen, and if it's only 8 episodes again, which we know that's true, um, how are they going to fit all this in there? And there's
I
time
know.
for Ezra to have a love interest who might be an Imperial sympathizer?
Right.
Like what? I
It
feel
would
like because
have to happen awful quick.
you're gonna have two main stories, right? You're gonna have Peridia and you're gonna have the regular galaxy, everything
Mhm.
that's going on there.
Mhm.
Supposedly, some of the stuff in Peridia is gonna be insane that
Yeah.
we just found out occurred about today. Um, I don't know, man. Like,
See,
when do they have time for this?
right. You now you bring that up. You've got Ezra who just back from Peridia. So not a lot of human contact on Peridia, right? There
Well,
was
I mean, those that weird tribe of people that Shin Hati is taking over,
right.
and then those little rock people.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how.
So
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like there's a lot
not a
of
lot of
options there for
yeah. So maybe he's has some needs that need to be fulfilled, but that doesn't lead to romance talk, I don't think.
no.
But you're right. Like it would be. I certainly don't want to see anything forced. If something, yeah,
Forest and Jedi, I get it.
if some, that's exactly what I meant. If something comes up organically, it fits in with the story and it's right, then fine. I just don't want to see anything forced, and it does seem really difficult to, you know, who I don't know. Like it would have to be someone that he's I don't know had a relationship earlier in his life, and maybe it's rekindled or something like that. I would think, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna. These guys are master storytellers. They can make it work.
Yeah.
They make
Um,
they make the big bucks. I sit here and talk on here. So
yeah, I don't know. I feel like because I mean it's rumor. I mean this is all rumors too, but Mission Nonstop 21 says I see people rock it, but I'm still old school pro. Um, I think talking about Chat GPT.
no,
So, but uh, if it really is a imperial sympathizer, that would be kind of a crazy storyline. I
yeah,
just don't know how they have time to develop all this because those episodes, if I'm remembering correctly, were maybe 40 minutes or any of them really that long.
not that I can recall. I need to definitely need to do a rewatch before that series comes back on because that was one of the first series that came out where you guys are doing the show recaps and everything afterwards that I started to get really into on here. And when I saw it too, I hadn't seen Rebels before I saw Ahsoka. So I do need to give that
Well, I
show a
think you'll
rewatch
enjoy
because
Ahsoka even
yeah,
more now that you've
absolutely.
seen
Hmm.
that because like you have to remember too, we have like years of anticipation of seeing these characters.
Yeah.
Of course, we get to see Zeb, and they've
Hmm.
started slowly sprinkling them into starting with Ahsoka. Then we got Zeb, and then of course we got the rest of the Ghost crew. So that's pretty
Hmm.
exciting. But uh, um, whoops, spell that. But yeah. So I mean, who knows? I just seems like a crowded show already because there's going to
Hmm.
be this big brouhaha with Thrawn versus Admiral Akbar. So you've got that storyline. You've got Hera, Jason. You've got Mon Mothma's in there. I mean,
Hmm.
again, how many people, are they going to show? You got whatever's going to be happening in Peridia. I hope that we get a little bit of everything. I hope it's not like one episode's this, one episode's
Yeah.
that. Supposedly, Ariana Greenblatt is back, and so is Hayden Christensen, and we can talk about that if you want. There's some stuff
Hmm.
that dropped today that is pretty exciting, but I don't know. Like I just feel like I mean, if there's a romantic relationship, how does that even work?
Yeah, it's hard to foresee, but like I said, I mean, they haven't let us down yet. So
No. And I know they've been planning this and everything, so and then she says it's all these things you want from an epic story. Now I have seen we were in Celebration in Japan. They gave us I don't even want to call I don't want to call it a trailer because it wasn't a trailer because there was no footage.
there's
It
no
was all
right.
like photos and dioramas and like little little like man, I can't even think of the word right now. Kind of like
I'd love to help you, but I don't even know what you're getting at.
just kind of like not dioramas, but little mini small scaled replicas of what they were looking for, right? And there's all these
Mhm.
things, and there was just one where there's this massive doorway, kind of looks like something from Lord of the Rings or whatever. I was assuming this is where Balin's going in to find Abeloth or
Yeah.
something, or whatever. And so I mean, and that makes me happy when you hear epic story. And she knows. I don't feel like she would just say that kind of stuff because I mean she's got a pretty good reputation um,
Mhm.
for you know her episodes are always really good
Yes.
in everything
Yeah.
she's done.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I feel
Yeah,
like
like you said, I mean, she certainly is a very positive person, and she's going to put the best spin on things. But to your point too, I mean, anything her hands get on has been magnificent. I mean,
yeah,
we did an episode, I don't know how far back, but earlier this year, looking at the episodes of Mando that she directed and Boba Fett and everything else like that, and
Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew. Yep, and there's some of the best from those series. So, I mean, you can't go wrong. Maybe Thrawn
Tahu says
falls.
maybe Thrawn falls in love with more
That
power.
could be very romantic.
That could be very romantic. Power is romantic. I mean, goodness gracious.
There really is a lot to get to in this, in only 8 episodes.
I mean, I guess there's no like, do they got to build a story? They just jump right into it. Like, you know what I mean? Are they going to trust us with all of a sudden, it's just going to open up in this big space battle and all hell's breaking loose and it's Thrawn versus Admiral Akbar. And then we're going to piece things together. So they're
Yeah,
jumping right into it. Is it going to
I
be
could
another
see
slow
that.
burn where like, because, you have all that stuff going on in Dathomir as well.
Hmm.
So, I mean, you can't forget about that. Like that was a big part of the end
Yeah.
of season one was getting all that stuff onto the ship, onto the
Hmm.
Chimera to get it back to
Yeah.
Dathomir. Right. So I don't know. It seems
I don't
like
know.
kind of crazy.
Since you said that, though, I'm really hoping that's how it starts out with just a big space battle.
Kind of like
That's the
Skeleton
best
Crew
way. Yeah, it's the best way. Just kick it right off. Just going.
or something bonkers in Peridia, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, just I don't know how big that could be. Like, there doesn't seem like I mean, I guess it could be a big fight between like those big Shin Hati's crew and then Ahsoka and Sabine's crew,
Mhm.
all the rock people. I can't remember what their names are, but
Yeah, I don't know.
um yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like they can't waste any time, especially if we're only getting
Yeah.
like 40-minute episodes.
Right.
So, and there's no talk about there's definitely a season 3. There's because that's what we were talking like Mike was talking a little bit about today on his show was and I mentioned in the chat like well maybe there's a season 3 planned or maybe it's going to be like we get the Mando movie, we're going to get Ahsoka, we're going to get
Mhm.
another movie, we get another thing of Ahsoka. Like Ahsoka's something they could drag on. Could they have a lot of things to answer with this crew too because I think that it's important for people to remember that all these heroes they have to go somewhere
Mhm.
before the sequel trilogy hits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's got to be significant to keep a crew of people like this out of the fight. Like what,
Mhm.
like Harrison Dula,
Yeah. Yeah.
Jason Dula, Ezra.
Yep.
I mean, you're talking about Jedi. You're talking about force
Mhm.
sensitive people. You're talking about great generals. So something. I mean, either tragic has to happen,
Mhm.
or they had to come up with a really good storyline. Everyone gets stuck in Peridia or whatever. I mean, it'd be like
Something.
the end of Rebels all over again.
Yeah.
Kind of, if
Yeah.
they go that route.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's been a lot of chatter about this is kind of a test bed for Dave Filoni, and how well this season does might dictate what comes next. maybe they can do a season 3 depending on how this ends and the availability of all the actors and whatnot. Or is Dave finally going to get his movie, and are they going to take
Well,
his
yeah, I mean,
characters, his story to the big screen? And I
his
think a lot is riding on the Mandalorian. See how well that does, because he's got his fingers all in the Mandalorian. So between Ahsoka season 2 and the Mandalorian, I think maybe depending on how well they do, that could say a lot about where we go from here.
yeah, because yeah, I don't know because there's a lot of rumors surrounding Starfighter all of a sudden then dropped today about it being
Mhm.
part of a trilogy.
Oh yeah,
So like if this doesn't do well, I think Star Wars will be in trouble if this doesn't do well.
I don't
But
know. I,
I
I
mean,
mean, they certainly have a lot planned movie wise. I mean, nobody's started shooting the next trilogy or whatever, but they have someone working on a trilogy. They have a lot of. We talked about this before. All the assets and everything that they're throwing in for Starfighter to really kick off the 50th anniversary and whatnot. So, I mean, it seems like they have an idea of where they can go. They have some plans in motion for where they are heading, but this is an option too. And to your point too, there's nothing on the slate for Disney Plus. I can't imagine that they're just going to abandon Disney Plus or just make it an animation only on the Star Wars front. You know what I mean? Somebody's got to be talking about some series, something coming next.
yeah,
I mean, I know streaming has gone through this crazy, just it kicked off with COVID, driving the numbers insane. And then things sort of came back down to earth. And now they're getting a kind of a better gauge or a realistic gauge of what streaming is and what you can expect to, you know, what your budget should be and what you
yeah,
can expect to get back. And maybe they're just reconfiguring their ideas on, what streaming is going to be. And hopefully, I guess it would have to be like 2 years from now. If there's nothing in production, you're looking at like 2 years before they could probably have another series of anything.
yeah. I mean,
But at the same time, like I said, they're not going to abandon it. They got to do something.
if they started filming in April of this
Mhm.
year, almost May, it comes through. End of May is going to be Starfighter, or sorry, Mando and Grogu next year, and comes out. I don't know. Like October, November.
Mhm.
It's a year and a half of filming, editing, and pushing it out. So I mean,
Yeah,
technically, yeah. I mean, if something broke like in January, there could be something in 2027.
yeah,
So
and it does seem crazy to me that they don't have anything planned for Disney Plus for 2027. I mean, you'd think they'd be guns ablazing on all avenues, try to get shove as much Star Wars down our throats as they can for the 50th anniversary. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's a little scary.
yeah. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but yeah, who knows? I'm excited for this. The more I hear about it, the
Hmm.
more I'm excited for Build. I mean, I'm excited for more Balin, even if it's not Balin. I really hope
I
he
mean,
does well for everyone's sake. And
yeah.
I honestly, if he doesn't hit this, it might ruin the show for me.
Mm,
If Balin's not, and I know it's gonna be different, but
yeah,
it's one of those things too. Like, how's he gonna do? I know we're kind of going all over the place with Ahsoka here,
it's
but like,
fine.
how's he
It's
going
what we
to
do.
play Balin? Because it's like Harry Potter. It's like Dumbledore. You had
Yeah, so
this
it's
old
Dumbledore.
wizard for
Hmm.
two episodes or two movies, and then you had this crazy,
Hmm.
how it ended kind of thing, and
Yeah.
it's a little jarring. But after I mean, that guy got what it was 8 movies, so he got 6 of them. So I
Hmm.
mean, by that point, you're like, oh yeah, that's Dumbledore. So we'll see. I don't mean to be negative on that one, but
Yeah.
um,
I mean, all things being, I mean, if you think about all the available actors, or even like dream casting it, you know what I mean? Like picking, if you had to replace Balin, who would you pick? And I mean, I think they've picked as good as you could possibly pick,
Yeah,
honestly.
I mean, yeah, I'm not
Another
saying that.
super huge posing actor that's, really good. I mean, I think that,
Yeah.
but you're right. I mean, it's going to be different, and it is hard to, when you could you imagine, uh, just like in the original trilogy. Let's say they had to replace Han Solo after.
Oh,
I mean, what?
yeah,
And it's the same sort of thing here for you. You've got to accept that your favorite character is now someone else.
yeah. I'll work real hard at not like, what I mean, like I'm gonna
Yeah.
not let that ruin the experience for me. I'm not that kind of fan. I'll be disappointed a little bit. Hopefully, there's some kind of like foray or something kind of like that, a little memorial or what I mean, like a little
Yeah,
memento thing for him. But do you want to hear the rumor
I
that came
do.
out today?
Yeah.
Supposedly, there's going to be a lightsaber battle between Anakin Skywalker and Balin Skull.
How is this going to work?
That's what everybody's talking about.
Hmm.
I don't want to keep harping on a guy who loves Star Wars, but he does have good conversations. And so when I hear stuff from, he's talking, and we do that all the time. Like I mean, we borrow stuff,
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, it's um, this content creating and stuff like that. Like we always try to give credit to people when we hear, but that was the first place I heard. Then I went and I looked it up in the rumor mill, and I try not to like buy into these rumors till I start gaining a little bit of momentum. But
Mhm.
supposedly, Anakin and Balin Skull are going to battle it out.
Well, I guess anything can happen in the world between worlds, but Gesundheit.
Thank you. So, what does that look like? Is
Yeah.
my thought when the first time I heard it, Balin's whole mission is trying to unleash something to change power, right? Like if you sit there and you're like me, and every once in a while you hop on, there's that one YouTube. I can't remember. I always just type in all Balin's, and it's everything that Balin says.
Yeah.
It's clip. And it's like 15, 20. It's not that long,
Right.
but
Man, a few words.
yeah, but it's so well. It's so good. It's so like this impact. Like, bam! Everything he says has a
Uh-huh.
point,
Yeah.
and it's so good. And it's just like we hadn't seen any Jedi who have lived through Order 66 like him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just like yeah, this sucks, and I'm gonna fix it, kind of thing.
Hmm.
It's so different from Obi-Wan Kenobi and everything. But
Yeah.
my thought is that he's getting closer. He's going through those big doors. I'm assuming like Ahsoka and Sabine are chasing him, trying to stop him, but they're dealing with Shin or something. And then, it comes to the point where Pretty is pretty steeped in the Force. Maybe Anakin's Force Ghost can like kind of intercede, like
Manifest.
kind of has like a Luke Skywalker uh, in the Last Jedi kind of moment where he's able to like bring,
Yeah.
project himself
Almost force
into a
projection. Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
So, and that would be a good combination, Balin Skull. And this is where I will say that Rory McCain, man, you got the guy from Game of Thrones, all that sword fighting experience that he
Yep.
has, and if you remember, Balin's moves are all double handed, like broadsword kind of sword
Hmm.
fighting tactics. So, like, that lines up really well with Rory.
Yeah.
Imagine that fight if they really get after it. Like,
Oh God, it's to
you know
be
what I
so
mean?
good.
Like, how does that
Mhm.
look? Is he able to like throw Anakin and vice versa? And like, can you throw a
Yeah.
Force Ghost or like, what I mean? Like, is this going to change how Force Ghost work if that's the case? Now, some people think it might be a flashback, but
Hmm.
that seems like it'd be a lot of work because you'd have to get
Yeah.
like a young Balin and a young Anakin, and I mean,
Yeah.
I guess they technically could be kids fighting in like as Jedi, practicing or something. So there's
I
that.
hope it's not that. I mean, what you're saying, it's exciting. Like you said, Rory the Hound, Balin Skull, like just a brutal, brutal fighter. You know what I mean? And Anakin is sort of the same way too. Like, I mean, he he knows his saber forms and whatnot. He can be elegant, but
It's
you
not his
think of
jam.
you think of Vader, like the way
Mhm.
Vader fights, and it's very similar. It's just brutal. Like no holds barred. You're not toying with anybody. You're just slaughtering. Those two, oh man, that could be something.
I'm
Like,
telling you, that could be an epic,
yeah,
epic battle. Balin Skull and Anakin Skywalker. So that would be sick.
Hmm.
I think that would be really, really cool.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
kind of fires me up. And then that whole idea of it being Rory McCain with his
Hmm.
background, like there'll be no need for stunt doubles. I mean, who
No.
could stunt double for that guy anyways? Like,
Um,
you know what I mean? Like,
amazingly, there are some crazy, freakish people that are
yeah,
like that do match up with those people. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like somehow this guy has the acting chops, and this other guy just has the size and look, I guess. But
Yeah. So I'm
but
pretty
yeah,
excited
just
about hearing that. So,
yeah.
but yeah, that just makes me want this show to come sooner.
Hmm.
But I think that's everything I've got on Ahsoka so far. I did hear rumors that Ariana was coming back, so maybe there's going to be some Clone Wars flashbacks. Maybe, I would be kind of cool if we were going to get more Anakin, Force Ghost Anakin, if like, um, because we kind of stopped talking about the fact that like, we talked about the father, the son, and the daughter.
Hmm.
This could all be playing into that as well. Like we all
Yeah.
get so distracted by all the things and like, oh, the next room or next room, and then if you sit there and you look at them, like in the storytelling ability, like these things kind of building on each other, and then as they all step into the roles, and that's
Hmm.
where they're stuck or something. I don't know, but it could be pretty epic
Yeah.
for a show.
Yeah.
I mean, because like not many of the shows have really changed too much, as far as, and again, it's all kind of in this parentheses because it's all stuck in between the original
Hmm.
trilogy and the sequel trilogy, which kind of bums
Yeah.
me out a little bit.
Yeah.
But something could happen here that leapfrogs sequels, rears its ugly head later on or something. Maybe I don't know.
Could.
Could take
Hmm.
a while to get back from Peridia. I don't know. You get lost inside a space whale.
And
So
anything could happen in Mortis. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like that. It's sort of an odd place. So yeah, I mean, lots of
yeah,
things could happen.
yeah. So yeah, that's all. Anyone else out there heard anything about crazy about Ahsoka? Let us know. Those are the things. I think that one, the Anakin Balin thing. I think just kind of starting to gain some momentum now.
I
Um,
hope we're not. I hope that's true.
God, me too, man. That will be sick. That'll be sick.
Yeah.
That'll be. I'll be like chomping at the bit for that every week.
Yeah.
Just like, oh come on, is this the one? Is this the one? Is
Now,
this the one?
how big a fella is Hayden Christensen? Because that's the thing. Like, you know, Vader is this imposing figure, but it's
He had
not.
metal
You know
legs.
what I mean? Whereas,
Says he's 6 foot. That's
okay,
not
but
huge.
yeah, because Rory's what 6'4", 6'6".
Or McCain, 6'6".
Yeah.
Put some
So I mean,
lift in old Anakin's
things that
boots.
you
Be
do
all
with
right.
yeah, with camera angles and whatnot. But yeah, hmm, I'm still down for it.
But yeah. Well, hey, I'm going to show. Who is this? Hang on. Oh, that's the Hound in the mountain. Okay, never mind. I thought that maybe that was a stunt double. I was like, dang, that guy's this is
No,
big. But it would make sense that the mountain was just as big.
yeah, that
Actually, the
guy's
mountain's
enormous.
bigger than him,
Yes,
which
I don't
is
know if he's much taller.
he
He
looks
might be.
like he's about an
He might be
inch or
six
two
eight.
taller in this photo here.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna bring this up real quick because this is pretty. This is, I mean, these are two massive, massive
Mhm.
men. Share screen.
But yeah, the thing about the mountain, he doesn't have to be a good actor. He just has to be a big body. Is that if you remember Game of Thrones, he didn't really have any lines. He
No,
just
he was
kind of
dead
grunts
half
and
the
stuff.
season. He's dead. Like he's just like a
Yeah,
body, like a
dying.
killer.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, Roy McCain's a pretty tall dude, and you got. So this hasn't listed at 6'5". It says 6'6" over here. So I mean, he's a
Yeah.
tall dude regardless.
Yep.
So, but I mean, yeah, Hayden's gonna. I mean, 6 foot's a tall, good, nice tall guy, but someone
Yeah.
6'6" standing in front of you, you're like, uh-oh, and just
But
just
yeah.
massive
Yeah.
human being.
Hollywood magic can make up for a lot of these things.
Yeah, I mean, they make Tom Cruise look like he's a normal height in every
Exactly.
movie he's in. So
And he's just a little imp.
yeah, he's just a little fella, just a little fella. Don't come at us with your voodoo magic, Tom Cruise.
Wouldn't that be something? We've had things get back to people
We've
before.
I will not ever say again. Oh, they'll never hear us. Um, because that has happened. But anyways, yeah. So there's all the Ahsoka stuff. Don't want to get too hyped on it because we're
Yeah.
away from that.
It's fun to dip your toe in now and again, especially when these little things come out. I mean, heck, that little article, which just like one little thing that Bryce Dallas Howard said, and we've made this into like a 45-minute conversation. That
Yeah,
was some some rumors.
yeah. So
It's fun.
yeah, I'm excited for it. Where was that other? What was the next thing we were talking about? The Naboo thing.
Yeah. Well, let's see. That was from, I think it picked it up on Yahoo News. Let's see if I still have it pulled up here.
I know you sent it to me. I'll try to pull it up. But Mike found some interesting news, and I never thought about this, but
Me
it kind of
neither.
reminds me of. We got to be careful because I feel like this is going to get a little political
It could.
because of.
It's one of
Yeah,
those things in Star Wars that just sort of mirrors the real world.
yeah,
But yeah, it could certainly get political. But yeah, this is on Yahoo Entertainment. Um, it's titled "New Star Wars Movie May Finally Answer Decades-Old Fan Question." And I don't know if a lot of fans had this question, but
I never even thought
Chris,
about this
yeah,
until.
Chris Snellgrove, who is the author of this article, he had this question for sure. And I don't want to get into reading the whole thing, but I'll kind of summarize it. Basically, Starfighter has begun shooting, and they are shooting somewhere in the Mediterranean Sea in that area there. And we all know that Naboo was set in that same area, like they filmed in the same general area for the scenes for Naboo. And our friend here posed the question that basically, how did Naboo feel about their senator become chancellor, become emperor? How did they feel about the emperor and his role in the whole everything in his his fall? Did I guess he's saying with Starfighter going possibly going back to Naboo or revisiting Naboo, maybe we get to see what the sentiment is on that planet regarding the fall of the Empire.
Yeah,
Because
go
you
ahead.
think about it, the Emperor probably would have filtered a lot of economic wealth and everything back to his home planet. They could have been very economically viable, had a really good economy and whatnot under the emperor's rule. And who know, he's kind of posing the question: how did they feel about the emperor? Is it one of these things where they're gung ho for it? Is it one of these things where they're just, we'll take the goods that come from this, but we really want to distance ourselves? And did it come up to like, did they rebel against it? Did Naboo want to join in with the rebels against the Empire? So it's really interesting questions.
Yeah, and he brought up some good stuff too because he talks about Luthen rails, explosions and things like that because
Hmm.
that would make you think that that is an empire heavy world if unless they're being like occupied, like
Right.
they're forcing people into systems that don't feel like they need them.
Hmm.
Um, so
Yeah, they really didn't get into it enough to really answer that question. So it
see,
could have been either way. Yeah, it could be
yeah,
that it was a safe haven for the Empire, or it could have been, you
all
said, the
those
Empire, you know, colonized a lot of worlds where they weren't wanted.
and all those wealthy people didn't seem to be struggling too much.
No, no, they did
So they're just
not.
kind of living their lives, just living their lives as far as day to day things. And then, of course, they're all freaking out about the explosion and stuff. It's like it wasn't
Hmm.
something that happened. I mean, I don't know if you can get used to an explosion, but and then, of course, they talked about a Revenge of the Sith and how it could have been just we see people cheering it on Naboo, but it may not be everybody. It could just be a small contingent of people,
Hmm.
you know, um, that in the EU, where was it? I just saw it. EU that it was a small group of rebel sympathizers on Coruscant. So like most of
Mhm.
Coruscant was like, yeah, everything's working well for us. The war's not here. We're
Yeah.
not under control. So
And of course, I mean, all that EU stuff isn't canon, but it still leads to the same. I mean, the rebels win, obviously, but we see that not too far in the distant future, the rise of the First Order, like the remnants of whatever the Empire was, now are coming back as the First Order. So it wasn't like the whole world was on the rebel side and the rebels just won everything and had clear sailing from there. It seems like when you look at the new trilogy, the sequel trilogies, the rebels, the new republic doesn't seem to be in any better state than the rebels were. So is that the rebels, the right side of things, are they still outnumbered by the evil that is the empire?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it's kind of up in the air, um, and not really having any kind of canon to like dive into.
Right.
Like
Hmm.
you said, it's we don't know exactly what was happening during the flashbacks on in Andor for Luthen and Clea. Um, so I mean, we can assume. I would assume that they were fine with it because they were all just sitting there having lunch and like nothing big was happening. It was just occupied, but maybe they were there for their safety. At
Yeah.
least they thought they were there for safety reasons. So yeah, I mean, it's an interesting question and one I had
Yeah.
never ever thought about.
Yeah.
Is where does Naboo
And
land? Because I know that he goes from senator to chancellor, and that's got to be a thing. Like, states in our country celebrate like all
mhm.
this guy, you go any
The
state,
president
all
was from
yeah,
here.
the
Yeah.
president from here, whatever. So, planet wise, and
Hmm.
obviously it's made up world, but those kind of concepts still play true. They'd be
Yeah.
proud of them
Yeah.
until then. Do they continue to be proud? Because, like what you said, he funnels things back to him, and it
Hmm.
turns into things that are too close to home, or
Yeah.
you know,
Well, that's yeah. I mean, it leads to some really interesting story, I would think, and it just tend. I mean, it happens to mirror current politics in the world, and piggybacks off of Andor, and really, really the whole Star Wars story heading in that political direction. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And the reality of it is, it's really kind of small groups that lead to this huge glitch. Like the hardcore empire, it is just like the hardcore right wing in America or in the world. You know what I mean? It's not
hmm
everyone. There's just this core. And it's same thing with the rebels on the left side of
it's
things.
just
They're
it's
just this small core that stood up. But the
yeah,
the
that's a good point.
bulk, the middle is just people that want to get by. And you may sympathize one way or the other, but you
But
got this middle that just kind of goes with the flow. Like you said, the rich people on Naboo in in Andor, they don't seem to be doing too terrible,
no,
but they probably aren't taking either side, but they're probably pretty happy that the money's still coming in and their life seems
yeah,
to be, you know, not changing too much. But yeah, that I really it was a really interesting article and could really lead to some interesting story, I would think. I mean, I didn't think Starfighter was going to be. I mean, all Star Wars is political in some way, but I really, my vision of Starfighter, what I would expect it to be is just just fun. You know what I mean? Just let's celebrate the 50th anniversary. Let's have this. Let's not think too much about it. Let's not get too deep into the politics like Andor or something like that. But let's just kind of get back to almost like Skeleton Crew, almost just a
yeah,
fun romp. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But it would be really interesting to see it go in this direction. If that is, if part of it is taking place on Naboo, maybe get into that a little bit. How do those people feel about the Emperor? Is it like Germany after World War II? They kind of scrub it away and Emperor who? No, I don't know who you're talking about.
yeah. There are
Or
some there are some canon books like Bloodlines. Oh, I'm trying to think of the other ones. Like where there, and obviously we know there's sympathizers out there because we've seen it in Mando.
Hmm.
We saw the council. We've seen the stuff that happened in Ahsoka with people being loyal to the Empire. So we know it's still going to be there. It has to be for the sequel trilogy to happen, right? I mean,
Hmm.
all that stuff has to kind of mandate. Um,
Yeah, the First
Shadows of
Order
the
doesn't come out of
Shadows of the
nowhere.
Sith, which I think you should read that book. Like I know you're
Yeah.
doing non-Star Wars stuff right now. Put that one on your list, and also put Rise of the Red Blade on your list too. I
Okay.
just about finished that. I've had a little bit of free time, so
I need to put a Google Doc with all these recommendations
yeah.
of books.
So I think that you'll enjoy those stories because they're a little bit heavier. And
Yeah.
did you read Mask of Fear? Did you read that?
Nope.
The
Nope.
Reign of the Empire one.
Nope.
I think you'd like that one too because
Okay.
it's not just shoot 'em up. There's like
Yeah.
I mean, there's some depth and
Depth
some
to it.
like teeth to it, But
Hmm.
yeah, I think we know that there's groups there. It will be interesting, and I thought exactly what you thought or think about Starfighter until today, and then
Yeah.
we started getting all this information, and I've never heard of this one website. I'm going to try to do a little thing on it tomorrow. I don't have time tonight, but they're talking about Starfighter possibly being the jumping off point of a new trilogy. And
Hmm.
if what's happening, we think what's going to happen in this, I don't want to spoil too much because I know people like, I don't always like spoilers, but, and I always take it with a grain of salt too, because like, you just never know, and
Yeah.
it's exciting either way, but there's some things that might connect I thought Starfighter was like, they said a standalone film,
Hmm.
and now they're talking about it being way more connected to uh, original trilogy and sequel trilogy, and I think it would work if it's a good movie and it can bring all those things together, and then it starts. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll see.
I don't want to get
That's
too much into it, but
yeah.
I think that, and I hope people just aren't overcomplicating it because we have too much free time on our hands.
Yeah.
But with the information that's out there now, and you can go look it up. Like I said, I'll have a little blurb on it tomorrow. 3 to 5 minutes. I'm going to talk about it, just with who Amy Adams might be playing, and what supposedly what her character is, and who the boy is, and how that could connect, and all these. I mean, then you just start going down another rabbit hole of things that
Mhm.
could or couldn't be, and then where they might be heading. So like,
Yeah.
it really may pull the trilogy together, like the sequel trilogy, the original trilogy, kind of pull them together more so than I think people, which would be a good thing. I
Yeah.
think for Star Wars, if they could bring those two fandoms closer together
Yeah.
with this like positive movie. And I just found yesterday that there is a 4-hour audio book written by Cavan Scott all about Ray Sky, or well, she wouldn't be Skywalker yet because this is right after the Last Jedi happens, but she goes
Hmm.
back to Jakku.
Hmm.
And so they're starting to feed us more Ray stuff.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this on the show before and on the main show where more time with Ray, people are going to come around to. I know everybody hates her right now, blah, 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 blah. I
I,
get it. I know we don't. We're like, all right, let's, but, everyone out there that hates her, half the population of Star Wars fans that hate her,
I don't
um,
get it.
like, it could have this Ahsoka situation going on where
Yeah.
if you spend more time with her,
Hmm.
as long as things are written well. And I was excited to see it was written by Cavan Scott. Like he
Yeah.
gets Star Wars pretty good. So,
Yeah.
um, that's exciting. But if where Starfighter leads to possible cameos, and then
Hmm.
you're getting Ray books, like they're definitely kind of driving things in a certain
Yeah.
direction, which I think is smart
Hmm.
as long as it's done well. Now there's 25% of the population is never going to like it regardless.
Right.
They hate everything. But if you could win over the other 25% and bring it, and the majority is on the side of what Star Wars wants to do, that would be a much better place to be at with Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I don't know. I like the idea. Just write good stories. Stick to that core of a good story. And if you can throw in a cameo or you can throw in an Easter egg, you can connect it in some little way somehow. That's all we really want.
yeah,
Like if you look at like Marvel and DC and places like that that do this sort of thing all the time, it's best when it's not crammed in there, when it just comes about natural. or if it's
Yeah.
just in the background that it kind of connects, it slightly connects. That's so much better than, let's connect all this and write a story that connects it all. Just write a good story and
Yeah,
let it
write the story, and if it works, it works. If it
just, yeah,
doesn't, it doesn't.
exactly.
No, I
Exactly.
agree. I mean, I agree. I know they have plans, and I think that they've managed to sprinkle enough of the High Republic into stuff. And the thing about
Yeah.
like Who Wheels, I Have Spoken, like that shows up in places now. Like,
Hmm.
and oh gosh, there was something else. I was like, oh man, they're really kind of, they're just kind of like the Force is with me. I'm one with the Force.
Yeah.
Like that
Hmm.
has that showed up a lot in the High Republic.
Yep.
Like kind of
Yep.
bringing that all together. Like, oh yeah, it's always
Hmm.
been there. What are you talking about?
Yep.
And then some of those stupid fans will be like, "Oh yeah, that's always been there." I'm like, no, it
You have
hasn't.
no idea.
Introduced in, but whatever. Like,
But
I'm glad you
yeah.
think so.
Hmm.
So
That's
I'm
the
not,
way to
I'm
do it.
not mad about it. Like, I love it. I
No.
love the fact that
Hmm.
they're able to go back and kind of
Yeah.
beef up
Yep.
the stuff.
Now that's the way to do it, because you have to, unfortunately, for this to really be a success and for this to be, make the kind of money that has them continue pouring money into it and continuing to expand it. You've got to have this big broad story that everybody likes, that it brings in people from all corners. But then you throw in those little things here and there that, for those of us that pay attention and have seen it all, oh, that's the thing, it just
Yeah,
gets us excited. And
yeah, and then, yeah, it's like Tiara said here, like Cal
yeah.
making an appearance in Lego. Are they? You know what I mean? Like, are they getting people ready?
Yeah.
Like Cal's. I don't think they needed to do a Lego thing. I think people were ready for that regardless. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think that would be cool.
I still haven't seen the Lego
Oh,
Lego.
dude, you'll love it, man.
I know.
You should
I'm
with everything
slowly
we talked
coming around. Listen, I was really mad at Disney. I haven't
and they
been on
fixed it.
Disney
They came
Plus.
back around.
I'm super pleased that normally boycotts don't seem to work with big
This one worked
corporations.
quick.
It worked quick. And even the two holdouts that said, we're still not going to air Jimmy Kimmel, both of
He
them
aired it
finally
100% of
came around. He's 100% of the markets again. So we were very successful. And that's bringing me around. Like, I have this thing where I know how.
We got our first million views on a short.
Wow.
So Jack,
Sweet.
congratulations to Jack. We just hit our first million view short on YouTube. So good job,
Nice.
Jackie boy. And
Yeah,
that was
buddy.
a short from the Lego show. How
Yeah.
Lego, it kind of a double-edged sword, really. But yeah, anyways, I knew I hadn't talked to you since he came back on the air, so I was kind of wondering. Mike and
Yeah.
I had to take a little break last week because we thought we might end up going on rants that we shouldn't probably be going on. And of course things were going on as well. But yeah, I'm the same boat with you, bud.
Yeah.
But they're coming around. They've learned. I think.
Yep.
I mean, you would have think they would have learned right off the bat, having just lost that court case to Gina Carano or whatever. But
Yeah.
anyways, I don't want to go into it too much.
Yeah.
It's
I
just,
don't want to get. Yeah. This was a fun conversation, and I don't want to go down that
you need
rabbit
to
hole.
watch the
But
Lego thing because
I,
that
I'm
clip
I'm going to get
alone that
around
we
to
just
it.
hit a million views on, like that will make
Yeah.
you laugh. Like they take
Yeah.
a shot at the character of Snoke, and
Yeah.
it's friggin' hilarious. And then we just keep finding more. I've watched it through once, and I've done little snippets here and there,
Yeah.
but there's some really good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't
So
know why. Like, once it was all finalized and everything, the boycott won. I don't know why I don't get back into it, but I have this thing where I got a lot of FU in me. You know what I mean? And I like to sometimes punish myself, withhold the good, just to
don't
hurt
do it.
myself. But yeah, so I'm going to eventually get onto it. And I'm pretty excited about Visions coming out as well. I know, like,
Oh yeah.
um, my my daughter and her boyfriend, they've been watching a lot of anime. So I want to bring up the Visions thing with him and see if he's into that. Maybe we can have a little bonding thing over the Visions
Yeah,
season
I
3.
remember your house was the first place we watched Akira. I
Hmm.
think we talked about this before, but I need to rewatch that now to see. But I have
Yeah.
a hard time watching. I don't even know, but um, yeah, I need to rewatch that and get into it. I love these Vision stuff, though. I think it's really, really good. I
Yeah.
really loved season 2 for the fact that it had all those different cultures
Hmm.
and they put their stamp. I thought that was beautiful. I love the
Yeah.
fact we're going back to like the heart of anime.
Mhm.
In Japan, which I thought was funny because there was like an American dude that's like running one of them, like, but he looked like a guy who was probably into anime when he was a kid. So I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, that makes sense. You must really love it because you're in Japan now. But like we're getting the Ronin, we're getting a few other things. I think we're doing something with season 2, maybe going back to season 1 and looking at the ones that they're redoing coming up soon. But yeah, we've got lots of good stuff coming out in Star Wars.
Yeah.
So I think you should do yourself a solid. Watch that show. It goes by quick. It's maybe an hour and
Yeah.
20 minutes total.
Yeah.
I don't think it's even, well, no, not even an hour and 20. It's like 23 minutes, but don't 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 start the credit. Don't fast forward to the credits though, or the opening credits, because they are funny each time. They're different each
Okay.
time. And then you get 15, 20 minutes of the show, but it's pretty fun,
Yeah. I will get to it.
So
I've been watching with the I can't speak. My TV viewing has been Ted Lasso lately,
that's
which is, I mean, when you're down, what's better? You know what I mean? Like, it's
nothing.
just such a happy, fun show.
So yeah, I mean, there's some dark episodes,
Yeah,
but yeah, the
yeah.
majority
It
of
gets
it,
into some
like,
serious stuff, but yeah, it's such a good show.
yeah,
I've been
absolutely.
watching that lately,
All right.
but yeah,
Well,
I'll get back to it.
yeah, I'm gonna be curious. Hopefully by next week you can tell me what you thought. I'd be
It's
interested.
possible.
So, but yeah, folks, thanks for joining.
Yes.
Again, check out. Let us know in the comments down. If you're watching this later or you're watching it, didn't want to message or whatever. Let us know what your thoughts are on all these rumors. Are they going to be able to fit everything into Ahsoka? Um, you know, all that stuff we talked about. Like, let us know what you think, where you're coming from.
Thanks, Tahoe.
Nice,
Appreciate it,
Tahoe.
buddy.
That's awesome. It sounds cool when he says it too, right?
Yeah, I'm
I
sure
know
it
I'm just
does.
visualizing like Tim Morrison saying it in my head.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Got to
Tyler,
drop a
until I
serious
meet you
note,
in person, you sound like Tim Morrison. So,
buddy.
but yeah, you be strong too, brother. But yeah, awesome, folks. Thanks for joining us. Let us know in the chat, how you feel about all this stuff. If you've seen the Legos, make sure you bombard us and tell Mike he needs to watch it. So, and yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Yes.
We have spoken.
See ya.